Hey everyone! I don't know who is going to watch this or if I'm even going to share it, but I felt to do a video right now because I'm playing with the Arthurian Tarot. So, where in the world am I? I'm in the UK, in Glastonbury, and I'm staying at a lovely accommodation B&B called Camelot's Retreat. And I think the name alone is special, let alone being here and feeling the energy, especially in this meditation room that I'm in right now. Look at this crystal behind me. It's massive. This is such a beautiful space, honestly, and I feel really blessed to be here. So, I woke up this morning and, well, first of all, I arrived here yesterday and I didn't have data. I ran out of data on my phone. So I actually ended up navigating here somewhat through just using maps as well for the last few minutes. This place is just, it has such a beautiful energy. This morning when I woke up, I felt so light and just peaceful, and of course the word serenity keeps coming to mind, especially from my shamanic one-on-one healing that I had the other day at the Three Wishes Fairy Festival. Another phenomenal trip. But I've been thinking, and I thought instead of waiting till I get home and sharing about my journey, I'll just do it on the road, so to speak, and share a bit about my story and my pilgrimage and whatever else comes up to be shared. And I'm going to do it in snippets so that it's not one really long video, which I didn't even think that would be possible. I mean, it's possible. I feel to do it this way. That way it's short, succinct videos, and people can go and do other things in between. And I can do other things in between. So I'm sitting here in this meditation space and I'm feeling the energies, and I'm listening to a CD of all things called Eternal Om, or The Eternal Om, and I just have that going on in the background. I did want to do some stretches and some energy medicine work, which is essentially tapping on the meridians and clearing and transmuting energy and allowing the energy in my body to continue to circulate in the toroidal field, if anyone is aware of that. And I'm also going to do my best to be really real and authentic and stop saying and so, just to fill space and feel uncomfortable on video in those moments, if that is what happens, and hopefully I can become more comfortable and confident as I go along, because ultimately this is just about me sharing, and I always do my best to be authentic as much as I can. I'm feeling such a strong connection with the land in the UK, as I have been before I even got here. And yeah, as I was saying before, this is my own little pilgrimage and the continuation of my soul-seeking journey. So I sat here and I thought, yes, I'd like to stretch a bit more and I'd like to do energy medicine. However, I feel like it would just be nice to do some cards and then play after. or this is part of play, this is a different type of play. This is more of a play with my mind and channeling. And because according to the Chinese body clock, it is a lot easier, more effortless to tune into channeling earlier in the morning as opposed to later. And as it shifts in 2-hour increments, different organs are also being replenished and rejuvenated. And I am so lucky to be drinking water from the White Spring well here in Glastonbury, which is said to have properties of restructuring our cells in our body. And it is absolutely one of the purest and cleanest, most cleansing waters that I have experienced. I have experienced other cleansing waters as well, which have been amazing. And this is just, I'm feeling effects instantly from yesterday when I was having it to today. And it's like my body is just like wanting more and more. And even yesterday when I was sitting up in bed while I was watching Charmed and chatting to people. I'm watching Charmed again, by the way. It's such an incredible series, and I seem to watch it at really pivotal points of my life. Like the last time I watched it was when just before Dad passed away. I ended up getting COVID at Earth Frequency, funny enough, from sharing my water bottle on the dance floor. And nobody actually knew what it was back then, because they had a saliva thing, and I don't think that was very accurate. But anyway, it felt like I was dying, and I said to my partner at the time, I feel like I need more plants. Like I just want to go get plants and put them in the house because they are amazing for purifying the energy and the actual air in our homes. And of course now with my current partner and the beautiful man that I get to live with, we have so many plants and it's incredible. But I digress. So during this time, it was actually a really activating time of my life. I didn't obviously know my dad was going to pass away and the rest of whatever happened in that year. However, I did have a really strong feeling that something big was going to happen. And I was being prepared for something. I was being given bonus time. So I would wake up coughing from an asthma attack, go have some tea and watch Charmed. And during this time, I also channeled some incredible sigils. Funny enough, the ones on my hands are actually not those sigils. These are the ones that came from years of integration beforehand. Years of visioning beforehand. And so happy that I'm fully integrated in these, and so many people are noticing my sigil tats lately as well. So yeah, I channeled these incredible sigils, which I was also told are star codes. And if you know me, and even if you don't know me, I have had a really strong connection to the stars, and I've been told that I'm a starseed, and I feel like I'm a starseed. In fact, one day I was channeling and I was told that I'm a rainbow starseed from the future, and I was like, what does that even mean? Anyway, so I ended up receiving messages that these star codes are the energetic keys that I carry within me, that I've come to Earth with, to assist people in healing and letting go of the pain of their past, helping to recalibrate their nervous system, and activating them to the next best evolution of themselves in my own special, unique way. And I thought that was incredible, right? That's incredible. if you have had this experience, or if you know what I'm talking about, please let me know, because I love reading comments and I love talking to people about all things spiritual and personal development and just this incredible life that can be sometimes really heartbreaking and painful and so challenging, and other times can be incredibly blissful and effortless and flowing, and it's all part of this divine union that we're experiencing within ourselves, and seeing it being reflected in the outer world. So yes, my guides were telling me to really make the most of that time, and I'm glad that I did, because I feel like it really helped with what was to come. And for those of you who don't know, my dad passed away in 2020 in April, and I believe it was a full moon, which was wild because just all the synchronicities that were happening at that time was just next level for me at that point. And I was in a high vibrational meditation space because there was a special uh, galactic or universal planetary event that was happening the next day, and so we were setting up the energy to drop in for the next day with our intentions and prayers and stuff. So a key word that kept coming up, which was so strange and out of place in this time, was terrifying. And I was like, whoa, that's not a good feeling. I definitely don't like that. And why is that popping up when I'm in such a beautiful, open, high vibrational space? And essentially what happened was, right near the end of that meditation, my partner at the time came in and he said, hey, your sister has tried calling you several times. I think it's important. You should probably answer it. And I was like, oh, she doesn't really usually call me, let alone multiple times. Something is wrong. Like, something's really going down. And it's wild that this story is coming up when I started talking about my trip, but it does make sense because it's all interconnected. And this trip has been being manifested and coming to me through signs, visions, dreams, seen and unseen beings, different, messages from them for so long. I'm processing and integrating everything as I go, and it's just incredible to see these loops that are coming to full circle and closing. I feel like I could talk for days about my life and my experience, and it's also why I decided that I was going to write some books, or rather, it wasn't a decision, more as a organic progression of what I was already doing, which was journal writing. So yes, my dad ended up passing away 3 days later. Our family dog Lucky, who was a mini poodle cross toy poodle, little black, beautiful little shapeshifter of a boy, passed. And he wasn't a boy at that time. He was actually around 14 or so. Don't quote me on that specifically, because I can't remember exactly, or maybe I do, and I just, the age is not important. And then 3 months after my dad, my grandfather, or his dad, passed, and I broke up with my partner at the time, who we had been together for 3 years, and I decided that I was going to move to Burleigh, which is, for anyone who's not Australian, in the south beach, basically, of where I live, southern coast of where I live. In proximity to where I was living, it was in the south beach, or the south coast. And you know what? Even though there was housing issues at that time, it still happened so effortlessly. It was just like you know, if something's meant to be, it absolutely will be. And there even is a little sign over there that says that exact same thing in its own way. I'll show you. So I'll read this to you. It says, the ordainer controls the fate of souls in accordance with their, and I'm not sure if I'm going to say this right, but prarabdha karma. Whatever is designed not to happen will not happen, try as you may. Whatever is designed to happen will happen. Do what you may to prevent it. This is certain. The best course, therefore, is to remain silent. And this is Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharishi. Now, I don't completely agree with staying silent because for me and my unique soul, I really love to share and to express myself in many, many ways. Part of which is clothes and color. Art, writing, and sharing in lots and lots of different ways that make me really happy and light me up. And in fact, when I look at the last few years, I haven't really been doing that as much as my heart desires. So, where was I? Everything has been coming full circle. It's been incredible to watch how it's all unfurling. And so I was watching Charmed at this pivotal time of my life, and just recently Julian McMahon, I'm not sure how to say his last name, who played Cole in Charmed, recently passed away. And even before I read that, I was already receiving messages to watch Charmed again. And it's just incredible. Like I said, the divine orchestration of the way that everything is interconnected and leads us to the next keys and messages and activations in our journey is just phenomenal. Like, I am forever in awe of this. So I saw that he passed away, and I was like, right, that's the last sign that I needed to watch Charmed. So my partner David, he helped me download it onto my computer, and I've been watching it. And I feel like, well, I know that this is why I started talking about this significant time of my life in 2020 and how it was for me. Other key points of 2020 that are important to mention, I feel, is it was the first time that I got to be a priestess teaching or assisting in a personal development and spirituality course that I had my own little pod of 7 or 8 women, I think, and I got to hold space for them. I got to witness them on their journey. I got to be with them on their journey. I got to give them guidance and help them navigate through the messages that they were receiving and what they needed to let go of and to create space for that was waiting to come in. And it was absolutely incredible. Also, equally challenging to do because I was going through grieving my dad and Lucky and my grandfather, and at the same time I was in another women's circle where we were weaving with the elements, and I really deeply connected to the elements on a whole nother depth during that time. And I think part of that beauty, part of the depth of that time that I was able to experience was because my dad passed away, and I hadn't actually thought about that until now. So this is another reason why I really love doing videos. I get to share other things that I've maybe gained through my subconscious that I hadn't had a voice yet, and that is one of the things. So isn't that interesting that when a loved one passes, there are so many blessings that we actually don't get to hear about very much unless you're with similar like-minded kind of people. And I think that's a shame. Like, it's such a significant part of death and grief, the blessings, and they deserve to be heard. And I feel a lot of the time that I am a voice for the unheard and the unseen, and it constantly continues to be shown to me in ways that, in many ways, really. And yeah, so there's many blessings, many activations, deep grief, but I didn't even access the deepest part of the grief until I moved, and I had a little journey where this depth of the grief came up, and I was howling, and it was next level. I was tender for about a week or so, and thankfully I had a beautiful man holding space for me in that time, because yeah, I think if he wasn't there, I don't think it would have come up like that. I don't think I would have felt safe to do so. So yeah, everything happens in its own timing, and like this dude over here said, if it's not meant to be, it won't happen. If it's meant to be, you can't prevent it from happening. So yeah, if you're on here and you're still listening to me 22 minutes later, thank you so much for being here and choosing to spend your precious time just chilling with me. It means a lot, honestly. And even though I may not know you in person, or maybe I do, I still feel that there's a connection happening between me and whoever is listening to me right now, both seen and unseen. So yes, thank you. So I've been having these visions of being in the UK for a long time. The UK has been calling me so loudly and clearly, and I said to Spirit back then, well, I don't know how this is possible, but show me. Oh yes, and the other important mention of 2020 is that a few years back from 2020, I saw a medium, and he told me that I would go to Melbourne and that I would study with Lisa Williams, who is a renowned medium, psychic medium in the world. And that was really interesting, because though those two things didn't happen at the same time, they did happen individually. And so in 2020, I signed up for a mediumship course with Lisa Williams, and I was awake at stupid o'clock in the morning because I think she was in America at the time. And it was just an incredible course. And right at the end, we did a little Zoom meeting where we had a little breakout rooms, and there was maybe like 4 or 5 people or whatever it was in each room, and we all shared the messages coming through. I think we paired up initially, and then talked about it and helped to integrate our experience. And I was just amazed with how clear the messages came through from people's loved ones and continue to come through. And for a while there, mediumship kind of fell to the side or to behind, and the psychic development sort of took over and took the lead for a while. And then recently, within the last maybe, I'm hearing 6 months. That makes sense, actually. Yeah. So within about the last 6 months, maybe since last September, where we had a really big eclipse, I've been feeling mediumship activations coming to the foreground again. And I'm really excited because in just under 2 weeks' time, I'm going to be studying at one of the world's famous spiritual schools in the UK called Arthur Findlay College, and I'm going to be there for a week. It's going to be intense, and I keep getting like good intense and probably a little bit not so good intense maybe, but I'm not going to focus on that because it's not in my control, and I'd rather focus on the best potential occurring and be prepared for anything else that might happen and know that I'm supported regardless. So I've been getting a lot of messages that I'm going to be seeing spirits in front of me again, because when I was about 7, I was in my bed sitting upright, and I probably had my knees up like this, and I was looking around and I was seeing all the spirits around me and I was like, I don't know what's going on, because that was just my life at that point, and I didn't know how to communicate what was going on either, and I don't know if anyone would have maybe been able to help me at that point, but yeah, it was quite scary. But turns out it was all my ancestors, my divine team, just taking care of me. And I also used to see they call it the evil eye in, Greek and Turkish culture, but I like to call it the eye of protection because it's not evil, it wards away evil, and words are important to me. So I would always see the eye of protection in the left hand corner of my room, and it was clear as day. It was my favorite room in the house, definitely. So yeah, a bit about my history, hey, and how I got here, and how the visions had been leading the way, and how I've just needed to trust that even when it didn't look like it was gonna happen back then, because I was very financially challenged, to say the least, and I was really unhealthy. I mean, I had a illness that I didn't know that I had, and I was really struggling for a long time, mentally, physically, emotionally, and my spirituality was just blooming and guiding me as it always has. So it's been a journey. It's been a massive journey, one that I am so incredibly thankful for and really honored and humbled by, to be honest. I love what I've experienced for myself in my own life and seeing what's been possible, and I'll continue to experience that. And I love how deeply I can connect with others because of the depth that I've connected with myself, and the infinite energy that is out there that some might call spirit or God or consciousness or whatever it is. I'm finding the infinite energy is the closest, most resonant label that I can utilize at the moment and recently. Yeah. Because of who I am, who I choose to be, who I consciously choose to be, and probably subconsciously choose to be, and the constant honoring of my journey and the deep diving into the subconscious, unconscious realms and weaving them with the conscious realms, being a vessel from being a vessel, like I am the vessel, I am the channel that connects the physical realms to other dimensions, time and space, to bring everything together. And I'm weaving this beautiful tapestry, and I'm co-weaving with you guys and everyone else doing the work and playing and remembering. And you know, even when we feel that we're alone, we're never alone. I love my connection to myself. I love my connection to other people. I love my connection to nature and the land and animals and the unseen beings, benevolent beings who, and the custodians of the land of where I am and where I travel to, and just, yeah, it's incredibly humbling. It's incredibly humbling. And I, even with all the pain and suffering and struggling that I've experienced in my life, I wouldn't have it any other way, because this has led me to where I am today. However, I will say that I do feel like some pain and suffering and struggling is unnecessary, and should people have the right education and awareness and presence, I feel a lot of that could be mitigated. And I know that because we are living in the time that we are living in, these struggles and the pain of the unnecessary will cease to exist at some point. And, or at least that's my hope, or perhaps it's a knowing. So I was originally going to share the cards with you, and now it's been half an hour that I've been talking about myself and my life. And I think ultimately what I've been learning about tarot for over 20 years now is that it's like little portals that open up, and we have access to the past, the present, and the future in this time, space, reality. And we can access, so it brings up the things that we need to share from within ourselves and to others and hear from others. And it assists with greater letting go and deeper awareness and connecting to our knowing and remembering. And the images on the cards obviously have their own significance, and I haven't actually had a deep look into these cards. I just sort of laid them out and then went to get my phone because I felt this transmission coming through that I wanted to share. And yeah, there's a lot to share. There's a lot to remember. There's a lot to experience in life, and the individual patches of tapestry that we are weaving within and for ourselves is connected to all these other patches of tapestry that you're weaving for yourself, and that person next door is weaving for themselves, and we're all weaving our own tapestries and co-creating this beautiful divine tapestry of life, the webs of life. Everything is interconnected. I don't even know if some of what I'm saying is making sense, because I'm just allowing the flow and allowing myself to channel what feels right without questioning or judging it, or without making sure it's coherent and succinct. And I trust that whatever I'm sharing is important for me and meaningful for me, because it is, and that whoever is watching this video also finds meaning and maybe has their own activations and aha moments, and is able to integrate their own tapestry, their own story more deeply. Well, I would like to share a card, and I think the one that really stood out to me the most this morning was this one. It's so beautiful. Look at those pastel-y colors. The reflection in the water as well. Wow, it's beautiful. It says, "Today I will engage with my inner self to spread light to all my loved ones." And a way that I do this is by sharing who I am and how I see the world and how I experience the magic of this world. And yeah, in many forms, as I was saying in the beginning. And it's like the cards in front of me have been part of these keys and these significant moments that I've shared with you. And it's like these cards have brought the past to the present, and they're assisting with the future, assisting with integrating the future. So this one says, "On this night, I shoot for the stars and believe I will achieve my dreams before long." So I hope this is a reminder to you as well that whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're channeling, whatever you're receiving of something that might feel like a really big, faraway dream, if your heart truly desires it and it's in your highest good and the highest good of all, I mean, just thinking about all the incredible, beautifully talented people that I have met, and how my shamanic rattle was blessed when I was having my shamanic ceremony, and how that's going to ripple waves of healing, deep, deep, deep healing into the world, because I carry it with me around where I go, depending sometimes. And you know, I utilize it in my healing sessions, my soul maintenance sessions. Then you know, it's just, I think I'm running out of words, honestly. It's just incredible. No words feel accurate to describe what I'm feeling, like the entirety of what I'm feeling right now, because I don't think anything can. There are times where words are necessary and helpful and set this beautiful foundation, and then I think energy and feeling take over the rest. So, yeah, please continue to trust your intuition. Really tune into your heart and what you desire. If you're feeling stuck, go and sit in nature and just breathe. Just breathe. Imagine everything that is holding you back as a color, or even like hold a physical rock, and really just put everything that's holding you back into this rock, and then throw it into the ocean, or throw it into the creek, or throw it into the garden, or whatever it is, as a physical representation that it's no longer, it has no hold over you anymore. You are your own sovereign being, and you are consciously choosing to let it go, and see how that feels. Even just taking time to put your hand over your heart and over your belly, where our intuitive energy comes from, our gut instinct, and just breathing. Consciously breathing. Someone just came in to see what I was doing. So yeah, if you just take time, make time to consciously breathe whenever you're feeling stuck, whenever you need a moment to pause, put your feet on the earth, bring yourself back to the present moment and observe. What am I hearing? What am I feeling? How does my body feel right now? Maybe instead of thinking about it, you could really bring your consciousness into your heart and ask yourself, not ask yourself, just send breath into those tight areas. Maybe you want to move. Like, how does your body want to move? It's so funny. I'm having a flashback to when I was sharing videos about, I think they call it the somatic connection, like being in tune with your body, and how to listen to your body. Back then I was having really big messages and channeling coming through of the ancient ones. I was told I was channeling ancient ones, or the ancient ones. And just recently I found out that Hecate, an incredible goddess, if you haven't heard of her, have a look into it. She is also known as the Ancient One. And I feel I'm another embodiment of Hecate, among others. But I always deeply have resonated with the three goddesses. And it's funny because I am one of three sisters. I'm not going to go into that because that's a whole nother portal. I just wanted to share that we receive messages and signs constantly about what is possible, because we as a consciousness are traversing our past, present, and future all the time. We are time travelers. Some are more aware of it than others, and some are not. And I know that if you're not used to these kind of things, it can sound a bit far-fetched. I'm not going to use the word crazy because I don't like that word. Ungrounded, even not grounded in reality. However, to me, this is the most purest, truest version of reality, and that's what I share with the world. And it's my honor to do that, and my pleasure, and it brings so much pleasure to other people, and remembrance and activations. So dreams do come true, our heart's desires do come true, and yours will too. Tap into that inner knowing and strengthen it and nurture it. Imagine like it's a fire, and you're feeding it every day with little twigs and sticks and maybe some paper, and think of that in your life as your creativity and nurturing your creativity. Are you a drawer? Are you a painter? Are you inspired by nature to create with nature? Whatever it is, do what your heart desires and allow this transmission to be part of healing your creativity too, because it's been incredibly healing for my creative soul expression and my creativity. I haven't always been feeling like I'm in flow. However, when I look back at, we'll just say the last 6 months, even though I've struggled a lot and I've been in bed a lot and I have been supported as much as I can be, but mostly I've been supporting myself because I was the only one able to do that. It was really challenging, and I felt like I wasn't living my life to the fullest. However, when I think about it, when I look back at it and I look at everything that has transpired and unfurled from these times, I was listening to my body. My body said, I want to stay in bed. I want to do this and I'm going to do that. And I did it. Could I have been more creative? Maybe. I don't really feel like it's healthy to say, oh, I should have done this or I shouldn't have done that. Instead, I choose to see that everything that I did and how I trusted myself and how I trusted others to move through what I was growing through has led me to where I am. And I think that is incredibly powerful and empowering and absolutely worth it. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here, hanging out with me. If you resonated with what I've been sharing, please share your story with me. I would love to hear about it. I'd love to hear about you. I'd love to get to know you better. If you want to stay friends, stay connected on social media, I have a great capacity to be able to keep up with people and messages at the moment. Yeah, I'd say even at the moment, because even though I'm traveling, I still have moments where I'm resting and relaxing and, nurturing the different aspects of myself and my life and my connections with people. So yeah, feel free to reach out. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Sending you so much love and healing, and may you continue to thrive in life and be supported and loved in the ways that resonate most with you, and may you also be open to receiving love and support that maybe don't resonate as much with you, because it's part of receiving that infinite love and support if that is your goal and your heart's desire. Blessings. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.